Neon, how do we respond? I mean, it is a third pick Drow, so you have plenty of opportunity to try and find a hero that can just jump the back lines and take care of it. And of course, Tiny would be one of the options. The question is, though, is it going to be a mid Tiny, or do they want to run the position for Tiny? So we do know that they are quite flexible with that. And John, you look like you want to say something. What is it?
No, I'm sorry, I tabbed out. Dougie sent me a distraction. Dougie, how dare you distract me with a meme? He sent me an image of something from Cyber. He loves reminding me of the arms that I encountered in Cyberpunk. There's that weird bug.
I knew that was going to happen, by the way, with Cyberpunk. I knew it was going to be way...
Hey, it's a great game. It's just buggy. Like, not game-breaking bugs, but, you know, visually buggy at parts. But it's fun, and I like the bugs. I'm the kind of guy who played Fallout New Vegas looking for the bugs. You know, it's like... It breaks immersion, but it's just so freaking hilarious. I think if you can't laugh at them, then... You know, you might be taking stuff a bit too seriously. It's in the end a game, you know? Although, I suppose we kind of dig on Dota 2 being beta, Mike, so hey, maybe it is just a game.
Don't be a Cyberpunk apologist, John. If the game's garbage, just say it's garbage.
Hey,
we're an SCA anyway. The likelihood is 99% of people here... Oh, no. Arc Warden pops up. This is... So we have...
Very Cyberpunk.
No, it's not. Unless you mean, you know, it's garbage like Cyberpunk is, John. If that's what you're trying to tell me.
No.
Drow Ranger versus Arc Warden. You know, the OS Frog matchup between the two, right? who has a longer range when they attack? Who can just drag out the game for longer? We're about to find out in this episode of Neon versus Fnatic. It should be a very fun one to watch. I'm sure. The creeps will die.
Man.
I can guarantee you many creeps will die in this matchup, as the Arc Warden vs. Drow tend to kill a lot of creeps. Still,
they do. That's the one thing we know for certain. This is an awkward one for a Drow. I mean, because Arc Warden, right, the bubble comes in. You don't really want to walk up as a Drow, so this is actually one really nice way to handle that for Neon. And of course, we've seen Natsumi play this. Like, we've seen him wreck face with the Arc Warden, so it's a sensible pickup. Not the kind of combination you expect with a Slardar. So we're going to have to see how else they tie this draft up. Looks like they might just shift. This is actually a strange one. You were asking me about Tiny Core a while ago. I think it's actually looking like it could be the Opage Tiny, maybe, coming through. The Slardar going support in the last pick off for Skem. Unless he just plays that Slardar off. Has something else last pick, so... Still some options for flexibility on Neon. Fnatic for their part. ET coming in. I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, ET and Lush is nice. You can really drag down the natural resist of all of these heroes, but I feel like Venge would have been much more value with a Lush Drow. Not as much control, but so much more value in the push and so much more Osfrog balance coming out there.
Osfrog is good, John. Neon Esports. Final pickup here. What are they lacking? Like, are we looking for a mid laner here for Yopaj? Are we looking for another position 4, perhaps? Could we possibly see the return of the mid-earth spirit for Yopaj? One of my favorites.
5 seconds remain.
Yeah, perhaps. It could line up well. Gives them some good gap closing as well if they wanted to. Still, again, could slide in because of the Slaughter Tiny flexibility there, but they don't have too much reserve time left, so Neon's got to dig hard. Issue is laning for the Lush up against Lush, so the ES against Lush could be a bit dicey if they go that way. Oh, okay, they get the Osfrog.
Alright, so here we go. Alright, so mid-tiny, they're going to run the Pulse for Undying or Venge. I'm going to predict it right now. I guarantee Neon Esports is going to find a telescope as well. You know what? Not only a telescope, the Arc Warden will find a Grove Bow, the Venge will find a telescope, and then we will have the true Ice Frog experience in this Dota 2 match.
Yeah, definitely. That's all we need. That's all we need. Funny enough, I feel like we've seen Natsumi kind of run this as well. Arc Warden plus Venge. So It comes in, it slides through. We just have to see how Neon wants to lane. Support you of Undying Venge sounds pretty. It sounds okay, but also kind of underwhelming in a sense. But you can make it work. The scam here is going to be important here. More than likely, we're seeing the Yopaj Tiny, which is nice. I don't know how you can manage to lane against Leshrac as a melee hero, but you do have decent wave clear anyway. So you should still be able to find farm, worst case scenario. But Fnatic, they do close out with a CK, so it's time to bust your PC, Mike. It's like you're playing Cyberpunk.
Here we go again. Another Aghanim CK to go. So we've got Tempest doubles and we've got CK illusions to bring out. Why the hell not? It should make for a very, very fun matchup. Game number 1 between Neon Esports and Fnatic, of course. Neon a bit more desperate for the points right now. They are sitting in bottom place. Along with Motivate Trust, I believe, just tied there. Unless...
Yeah.
No, they are now officially bottom place because Motivate did win out that series 2-0. So Motivate's gone to 7th. Neon go to 8th place. And of course, if Neon can win this 2-0, then they'll tie with Motivate in that 7th place spot. You know, just as many points as they can get would be nice. Meanwhile, for Fnatic, they are in 4th place right now. So for them, they are kind of on the cusp of going down to the lower bracket. And they are actually timed... they are actually tied, is what I was meant to say, with Team Dog. So they definitely also need the points. And so both teams will be looking for a 2-0 victory if they can afford to get one.
Yeah, it's going to be important to start climbing up. We'll see how it unfolds. Masaru's on the Chaos Knight. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't really feel like a Masaru's hero, does it? Like, I'm sure he can do well, but it's not the kind of, strut your stuff, confident Tide Hunter in the front, doesn't care how he looks, just twacks people down, rocks the dad bod. A different look with the CK. He looks much more dignified, Masaru's on the CK. His set is certainly much more dignified as well. We'll have to see how it goes, how his Ag's timing is, and how hard it will melt these PCs. Going to be a big factor in picking that CK. I swear, half the time you pick a CK, it's also to just crash the enemy PCs. I think that might be a factor in picking that hero now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say so. It's like you said earlier, we're still in beta. It hasn't been long enough that we can have, optimization patches and actually have a game that runs smoothly. I mean, it's like you pointed out, right? Cyberpunk, it's been in the making for like how many years now? They bring it out 8, right? So there you go.
Yeah, around about 8.
If Cyberpunk's not working properly, then why should Dota work properly?
Makes sense. It is visually demanding. Look at this ray tracing effects
How
here on
dare you?
Dota 2.
How dare you? This is very visually demanding, John. There's trees everywhere. There's a couple rocks here and there. I don't know what you're talking about. Cyberpunk doesn't look anywhere near as good as Dota 2.
You're right,
Look at
Mike.
this.
You're
Look at
right.
this
I take it back.
Look at this. There's a pumpkin on her head, John. That's very visually demanding.
It is.
Look at that.
Look at those. Yeah, the shadows it casts, the light it casts on these low res trees. It's outstanding.
Funny you should bring that up, John. I don't actually have shadows enabled right now. My FPS has been dropping so much ever since Tide came out. I actually had to remove the shadows.
Oh no! It still looks good, Mike. I'm sure it looks fine. We're fine here. We're fine. It's all fine. We're just experiencing the average Dota user's experience. Right. This is how we're all playing now. Thanks, Val.
Thank you, sirs. 2 for 2 bounty rune trade. A nice little start. Shout out to the mods that banned Mofire in the chat, by the way. Thank you for doing it before I did.
Did he really?
Someone timed out Mo, which made me very, very happy.
Oh, Automod. It's
Welcome
starting to get too far.
No, it wasn't. I believe it was Dougie.
Oh, bless. Still, we've got lanes to watch out here, Mike. Natsumi down bot with Jonuel this time around. So it's our Arc Warden Undying lane, not the most common duo. And you've got this classic. We didn't even get to mention this Fnatic. IO CK. I mean, I've been ranting about IOCK ever since we've seen IO pop back in, but it comes out. Fnatic's the one to carry it. We'll have to see how far Masters can get done, but with an IO around, he's not going to be under too much threat, even with an Undying. He's just going to get too much regen here from jabs.
Yeah, absolutely. Genuel gonna try his best to make sure Natsumi has the best lane he possibly can. We'll have a look over to the mid lane as well, though, while we have a chance. Of course, Moon on the Leshrac, actually dragging a creep wave behind his tier 1 mid tower. And I actually really like this from Moon. Just resetting equilibrium in the lane, making it much harder for his enemy, of course, in the Tiny to fight back. And it's going to allow him to just guarantee some CS, as Yopaj now doesn't really have a way to kind of fight back in terms of CS at the moment. Of course, the creep wave is going to push back Yopaj's way, but it is going to give Moon the level advantage, and now Yopaj might actually be dead. Moon, lightning strikes available, fairy fire. It's going to be eaten up. Moon won't bother with the last lightning strike quite yet. He will hold on to the mana, but it's a very clever play from Moon to get that XP advantage with that creep pool. And he was hoping to get the kill at level 3 with that level advantage, but he doesn't quite get it. Does at least force out the fairy fire and a full bottle.
I mean, Moon got a lot from that pull. He gets the deny and one range creep, he gets the full wave, he's got a full wave advantage over Yopaj. He's not been able to clear out too many of these creeps under towers because of the pressure Moon's applying. At the least, Yopaj with this early bottle does stay for a bit longer, and Moon is going to have to ferry out his own bottle soon as we start to approach the 4-minute mark. Still a ways off, but you do want to have that added regen up. We're going to have to see if the supports can come in to secure those power runes as we do take a look up top. Skem is around with Playhard, so he's on the off-lane Venge this time. Playhard trying to apply some pressure on the Slaughter. There's some potency here down the line for a lot of minus armor. We're talking about Corrosive Haze along with Wave of Terror, dragging these heroes down, but so far this lane is going to be steady. Not much pressure you can apply to Raven. He's got a lot of range.
Bot lane, big trouble here for the Undying, but looks like he is going to be able to survive with a massive soul rip. This bottom lane has been what appears to be very aggressive here from Masaros and Jabs. So far, so good for Fnatic in at least 2 out of 3 lanes, but I'd argue pretty much every lane is going their way right now. You know, and Esports need to try and catch up a little bit. So if they do fall too far behind up against this Fnatic draft, it can start to feel impossible to fight back, especially once that Aghanim Scepter is going to be up on the Chaos Knight.
Yeah, that's the big factor. Like, if Masaros gets the smooth start, which he currently is, it's going to be hard to fight into it if the Ags comes in timely. Natsumi is top of last hits, though. So this is the one big saving grace for Neon, the fact that their Arc Warden is getting some space down bot to farm up. Midas timing shouldn't be too rough here for Natsumi, and once you have that Midas, well, it's a smooth start to get into that farming mode on this hero. Still, bounty runes, power runes do spawn up, and Yopaj does get a nice haste. Might have an opportunity to go for a kill.
He may. Problem is, he is lacking a bit of mana right now, but I suppose once he pops the haste, he'll have the bottle charges to use.
Januel.
It's going to be in a bit of trouble again, it appears. Januel, it's going to be alright. Magnetic Field does make it so it's kind of hard to hit people. Natsumi does keep him safe, but that does mean you had to skill up Magnetic Field fairly early on. I'm not an Arc Warden player, John, so I'm not sure if that's how you're meant to skill it. But that is what Natsumi does. Is now Masaros going to be targeted. Yopaj going to make that big rotation you talked about, and that should be Masaros dead. He actually denies the creeps off before he does die. So he gets a bit more value out of his own death, but a nice rotation out from Yopaj.
Yep, really perfectly timed as well. Comes out right around the time the bounty rune spawn. So he gets to pick one up, refill his bottle, and go back mid.
Well, DJ also going down up at that top lane. Playhard the one to pick that one up, and now they'd love to go after Raven. They have a magic missile in just a second, but the Crush will come out first, and Raven might be the other one to die. He actually gets the kill before he does go down, however. Nice multi-shot out from Raven, and it's still a good pick off there for Neon Esports, but Raven won't be too upset about that.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt as much. He at least covers that loss just a bit, so he doesn't lose too much gold. He is a bit disheartened by the loss of EXP though. Skem gets a lot more in this lane. He's going to hit level 6 at a good time. He's going to get a few more last hits as well. So you are missing out a bit for Raven, but they have left this Drow alone, and this is something you're going to have to deal with. If you're a solo Drow, you are very vulnerable to any of these heroes just running up and getting you out of position.
Absolutely. Jab's making the rotation back down to the bot lane, it seems. Genuel just kind of following Jabs around. Moon is really having a great time with this left track, I might add, John. Just CSing like a madman right now, way far ahead of anyone else. He's being followed up by Natsumi on the Arc Warden, which is going to be fairly important for the side of Neon Esports to make sure that this Arc Warden is able to secure a quick Midas. It looks like, judging by the fact that he is CSing well, it shouldn't be too long. But as I'm talking about CS, Masaros is also doing a pretty darn good job himself. So it does feel like both teams are fairly even at this stage of the game, at least in terms of farm. As top lane, you have Paj, Avalanche toss out onto DJ, but he's going to be alright. Now back in with the Astral Spirit on to, well, it wasn't actually onto anyone. Everyone just gets out, but Moon is going to be able to get play hard on the Slardar. Nice rotation out of the left track, and he's going to go back to the jungle, but your Paj going to come back in onto the Elder Titan. Gets DJ down and even gets a TP wasted as he TPs down bot now. Natsumi was falling a bit low, but the rotations are there. But they don't really have any way to lock anyone down. Jabs does kind of rotate himself backwards to help Masaros out. The stun does fly out, and that'll be enough. This tiny rotation will mean nothing. Or maybe it will. He still gets an Avalanche toss, and Jabs thought he had left, but it was just a bit of a backstep there from Yopaj.
Yeah, a really good pickoff for Yopaj to have. He did TP down. He needed to find something from that rotation. They relieve some pressure out from Natsumi, and that does give Natsumi the space to pull back, get his Midas. Good timing with his Tempest double out as well. So they're going to be able to get some efficiency on the map, and this is when the Arc Warden starts to pull ahead. He may be down 20 CS.
Raven, he ran back into play hard for a second there, and he's going to cop a lot of harass here. The Spark Wraith does also land, and there's another one coming out now with the Slitherine Crush. Play hard, really trying to set up for this kill. The Tree Toss and Yopaj is able to set up. Now looking for DJ, but Moon has rotated over onto Play Hard, but the Split Earth will not land. Yopaj still playing around here, but is taking a lot of damage. A nice toss back, however, will mean he is able to walk out of there, and Moon is not able to finish off the kill. Meanwhile, Play Hard back in onto DJ, and Play Hard making so much space happen across this map. DJ get away for now, unless Yopaj can toss the tree perfectly, but he will not. Gets a toss back, however, with an avalanche, and that is a great play out of the Tiny. That's what I haven't seen before, John.
Oh, Yopaj. I mean, he is a tiny god, right? Like, we've seen this guy dominate with his tiny, with his quick blinks and his activity around the map. He's doing that without the blink. They've taken a slight net worth lead here on Neon's side, 7-2 as well on the kill board. Really active on the map, not the same activity on Fnatic. You're seeing DJ play a lot more reserved with his Elder Titan. He's lacking the levels on this ET as well. He is taking the backseat as they are trying to give more levels up, more space out for Jabs to kind of build up on the IO. And they are still, you know, they're keeping up in farm, keeping up in the last hits, but the net worth spread is really even for all of these cores. So the slight lead on Neon isn't by much. And Fnatic's not too far behind as well, but having this much EXP split out does feel a lot more important for Neon, as you can see Raven is starting to clear out some big ancient stacks. This is where the IO Drow starts to really kick into gear. Neon does not have wards there. So this is something that they are kind of lacking, just control in the jungle. They're not respecting the ancient stacks in the triangle, and Fnatic's going to get a huge gold boost from this.
Well, 10-minute runes are about to spawn up. Ancient stacks being taken right now by Raven. Of course, we do have a quick pause out. There was someone very rude in the chat before, John, I've got to say.
Yeah?
Someone asked what MLP stands for. They didn't say the My Little Pony, but They did say something else that starts with P, John. For the record, everyone, it's not My Little Pony either, but, you know, thanks for asking. But, I mean, I get...
now...
Hey?
Isn't it now My Little PogChamp?
I mean, I guess we could say that. That's better than Pony and PP was the word that somebody else used. My Little PP.
How immature.
It was rather immature. It didn't feel good, John.
You're giving me some low-hanging ammo here that I'm not gonna grab, but you're making it really hard not to reach down, Mike.
Play hard. Top lane, gonna go into DJ now. DJ in big trouble. Yopaj around as well. This should be a very easy kill. And it will be. The 6th kill of the game already for our Tiny. He's just absolutely on fire. And as I say that...
What?
Januel and Skem killing off Moon in the mid lane. How?
That is... Yeah, no, I have no clue how you do that. Maybe they offensively swapped. Looks like they did use one swap in, get the decay stacks off. Soul Rip is pretty huge now at level 3, level 4. So Moon overstepping a bit. Has to watch himself. He was one of the highest net worth on his team. Now he's back down. A clear 1k lead for Neon. They are starting to apply some pressure on towers, and this is... you know, they've got the Venge. They can actually melt these towers fairly decently if they put the numbers up.
Oh, DJ's been caught out again on this Elder Titan. He's in big trouble. Moon's going to try and help him out, and now the relocate's going to be there with Japs and Raven. Even Masaros joining in. They really want the Tiny, and Moon will be the one to take all that gold away. And with that kill, they seem to feel very confident in trying to go after that mid-tier 1 tower. It's still not going to be easy, however. Neon looks like they want to try and stand their ground. Fnatic probably won't really have enough time to finish off that tier 1 mid. And I say finish off, I mean they haven't even gotten started.
No, it didn't take as... they couldn't get as much damage out. They will smoke up, though. They've got the numbers here. They want to make something happen. They're eyeing down bot.
Well, Jabs, he's going to be corrosive hazed up.
Oh.
Nothing too special. Meanwhile, Skem, he's stunned up. Stomp also there with Moon, with all that magic damage, is going to be able to help set up to get the kill. And maybe now with the Venge down, they could try and get back to that tier 1 mid tower if they really want. Moon even finding a regen rune now, so he does have the free reset in his bottle. Looks like they are going to get started.
Yeah, this should be a really fast push. It's the Venge and Lesh. They can melt these towers really quick. And the Fortify is going to stall it out a bit. And you do have Yopaj hanging in the back, so they don't get as much damage as you'd expect with that Fortify out. And Playhard's just constantly up front, trying to force something out. The blink up on Yopaj, though. Major power spike for Tiny, and this not including that one overextension. Yopaj has been on point, so we'll see if the blink allows him to reach even further back and find some key pickoffs here.
Yeah, in the meantime as well, like, we haven't really talked about it much, but Natsumi's been freely farming up this whole time. He's, of course, he does have the Midas, and should probably use it, and there you go, he does. But he's also got the Maelstrom coming out very soon, and these timings are very quick for Natsumi. This is going to be a bit of a problem, John. Generally with the Arc Wardens, they don't really have the top of the net worth at this time of the game, but well, this game, they've made so much space for Natsumi. He's just having the freest time of his life. You got to wonder if Fnatic can put up with it later on.
Down the line, I think their biggest key to dealing with that is going to be Masaros and the Reality Rift. That's the best way to throw this Arc Warden out of position. So Masaros' timing is going to be key. The Ags, the PC Buster is almost done, Mike. Just about 1.1k away. So Masaros is going to be able to get that next level play out, crash some PCs with his illusions. We'll see how much that will carry him through. You can see Neon clumping up mid, though. They really want this mid tier 1 gone.
That should really be the like the benchmark test for that 3080. Which is all the new products. Just pick CK, run Ags, see if it can handle the frames. Play hard, gonna get rifted up. 4-second stun coming up from Masaros as well. All skill from Masaros there. With that, that'll be play hard going down. They are still definitely wanting to go after that mid-tier 1 tower, but it seems though Fnatic, they kind of let that go for now. Instead, maybe start pressuring the mid, or rather bot tier 2. But speaking of mid, Moon is going to go back onto Yopaj. Now the relocate is there. Januel, he's going to pop the Flesh Golem, going onto Raven. There is Jabs going down, and now Raven getting blown up by the Soul Rip. Moon's been stunned up. The Earthsplitter there, back to try and go up against Neon, but Moon, he's just way too low. He's going to go down, and now Playhard will also be chased down the river. Or rather, DJ will be chased by Playhard. The toss is there onto Skem, but it looks like he is not within range to throw the stun out. He does not have any more swaps available. With that, they do manage to get that mid-tier 1 tower for Neon Esports.
That's going to give them so much more control on the map. They can start hunting down in the triangle, maybe pop some deeper wards here as well, and just start to prevent Fnatic from trying to flash farm. Really early committal from Fnatic to start jumping in. I mean, I get that IO Drought is strong. They did dive a bit too far back. Gonna have to watch where they do come in, watch their angles and positioning. Perhaps just wait for the sags. Masaros is so close. Didn't need to force a fight right then and there. Just 600 gold off, and once you have that on the CK, again, it's going to be a massive spike for Masaros. You can play around the added illusions quite nicely once that's up. And that should allow them to really start running around, right? Like, our Drow is already fairly farmed up. Dragon Lance plus 4 staff there for protection. The Hurricane Pike upgrade already flying in as well. So you do have a good amount here in Raven. He is starting to fall behind compared to Natsumi, but that is to be expected when you have 2 Midases to play with, along with superior split push. So I think while the gap isn't too wide, this is the moment when Fnatic really needs to start to find more objectives on the map.
They're currently just waiting for that Masteros Ags. Needs 200 more gold. He's gonna be able to get it very soon. Big smoke up though, Neon. Looking to make the plays. Do go into the dire triangle, but nobody is gonna be around.
Oh. Now, I was wondering about this a while ago.
Uh-oh, they've looped around John. Jabs, he's going to get spotted. Raven gets stunned up as well. Now Yopaj gets in with a great avalanche toss. Raven's trying to run away. They don't have the damage yet. Raven, he's out of Risk's way, but Januel, he's going to pop the Flesh Golem. Playhard did go down. They do also drop the Tombstone. That'll pretty much be it. Very explosive set of events in that mid lane. Of course, Jabs will also buy back.
Fnatic.
They're smoking up. They want to have a go at this. Playhard is about to respawn, and Yopaj might actually break this smoke. They still continue moving towards the northeast, or rather west of the map. Well, going to TP out. And they are going to find nothing for their trouble.
Yeah, the really good scan at the end to ensure that they TP home as well. So Neon, despite that one loss in Playhard, they are starting to really pull ahead here. 13-6, but a 3k lead up on Neon Sand. Want to point out something as well. I was wondering about why it felt like Neon had a few too many neutral items. They did. That Faded Brooch they had on hand that passed hands from Yopaj and from Playhard was actually from Fnatic. So,
ouch.
they got freebie. Brooch as well, jeez.
Jab's been caught out here. He already committed the tether, but Raven will save his life with a gust out. And now the stomp is going to land. Earthsplitter is there. There is your Masteros Axe flying out on Yopaj. Going to go down. This is the part where things get very scary for Neon Esports. These illusions, they are very hard to deal with. Just run them down mid. Send the whole army in.
And they've still got a lot of push here on Fnatic's end. Again, they're just trying to maximize this Lush. Finally finding that mid, but the Fortify is going to stall. They don't have much time on those illusions.
Diabolic Edict making it easy, however, Tombstone drop, they do jump in. Januel with the Flesh Golem, trying to go after this Flesh Rack, but Jab's trying to relocate him out. Moon, he is almost there, he wants to turn around, they get him out at the right time. Playhard, he's the one to go down, but now Masaros is in trouble. They swap out Raven actually trying to get him as well. They will kill off Masaros. Raven will be fine to just run away. Overall, not too bad here as they even find Jabs trying to TP out Neon Esports. A 2-for-1 trade, and once again, they defend that mid-tier 1 tower.
It's not a good showing for Fnatic. They've got this lineup that is supposed to melt these towers. They can't even commit for that mid-tier 1. A lot of commitment from Neon to save it. They do go into the Roche next, and I believe that was... No, it's not spotted by the ward as well, so good movement at the night time. It is day now, and the moment they peek out, the ward does spot them, but movement from Fnatic's a bit too slow. They will have Phantasm up for the next fight. Looks like the Roche is a bit too tanky for them to handle, though.
And it is. Just backs off for a bit. Natsumi is getting a bit out of control now with this net worth, John. Sitting at 12.5k. Quite intrigued as well. He went for the Blade Mail pickup, but you know, I guess why not? With the Tempest double, you can still use it. So
yeah,
I suppose it makes some sense.
We see that a lot up against Leshrax, just getting a casual Blade Mail to have him burn himself. It can be effective, and I think there's some value here for Natsumi. Yep.
If you're standing next to the Tempest double, like you've got the real Arc Warden plus a Tempest double right next to each other, and you pop both Blade Mails on each one with a Leshrac using Pulse Nova next to it, does that mean the Pulse Nova damage is being reflected twice?
Yep, should be. They're both separate sources, yeah. Should count that way, which is why it's pretty fun for Natsumi to do this. I'm not sure if he's really going to want to walk up to the Lesh and tempt Fate that way, but it's a possibility. You can see Moon, he did go for the Ags Rush. Doesn't have a BKB, so that damage is going to reflect back fully.
Play hard, looking for a jump in, does get DJ on that Auto Titan. They will use the illusions out from Masaros. They do get Skim. A 1-for-1 so far, but now Masaros going to be in danger as he tries to run away. A lot of damage coming in from Natsumi's Tempest double, but now the Earth Splitter does come out. Back onto Play Hard, Raven's joined in. Onto the Slanner, he's getting low, but Yapaj's trying to help out. Now he might be in danger, trying to run into the bubble, but it will not be enough. Fnatic, they're holding the high ground. Back into Play Hard, the Slanner does go down. They even found the Tempest double in the middle of all this as Januel has been left behind, and he will be the 4th one to go down. The only survivor is going to be Natsumi, and he will just get back to farming. As Fnatic, they will go into the Roshan pit.
And this is going to be a really smooth Rosh for them to take. First Roshan of the game, so that's just going to be Aegis, but that's going to be a huge boost for them, especially on Moon. So he's going to be able to maximize that second life. Perhaps now they can commit for that mid-tier 1. No Fortify out from Neon, so it should just fall, as they do manage to turn that lead back. Neon still ahead by just 1k. You are seeing the rest of their core start to lag behind. This is starting to become the Natsumi show on that Arc Warden. He's the only one ahead now, and all of that network is riding on him. Skem started to fall behind. Yapaj as well, past the blink, has not been able to progress too much. So they need Natsumi to start to deliver the goods here, and for the most part, he is building up, but it's not to the point where the Arc Warden's unstoppable.
Masaros, with this. Right behind Natsumi. Play Hard is going to be there now. I don't think Masaros saw that, but it won't matter. It doesn't matter, because it's CK Ags, John. They say Sven Ags is broken.
You gotta love it. Masaros with a sneaky play, managing to make it work, and, well, we were just talking about Natsumi. Got a bit cursed there. It's going to set him back by an amount. He's only 1k above Raven, not a huge lead. And Fnatic now can run the full force of their push strat. Going for that tier 2 bot, no defense coming through. It's just going to melt, and there's not much Neon can really do. They don't have any objectives to chase down themselves. Their main farmer is gone, so all of these heroes farming up now aren't the most important in terms of scaling. This is just setting them back by a whole bunch.
And it is. We'll try and play the long game here, Neon Esports.
Scanning for enemies.
Smoke up. What they found now, it's going to be Yopaj. Big pick off to get. Masteros once again setting up with his team. I just don't. This CK Ags, it is so stupid. He didn't use it that time, but it's besides the point. It just, this hero is just too darn strong.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's pretty ridiculous if your draft isn't set up to deal with illusions, and it tends to just slide right through. Right now, Neon, the only way they have of dealing with that is their Arc Warden. Natsumi is just not enough yet, and they lose more.
Well, Play Hard is going to go down.
Radiant's top tower is no more.
Very nice pick off there from Moon, and it looks like they want to try and make the top tier 2 tower push. Maybe even the mid tier 2. But now they'll just control that Radiant triangle. Suppose you always have this Arc Warden to fall back on. It's not a... You know, you've got a way of holding on, which is always going to be nice. Fnatic, they are looking very dangerous as time goes on.
Yeah, they are finding their item timings well. My biggest issue right now with the Arc Warden is, again, its lead is just not big enough to justify how much lower everyone else is. Like, the Venge and Tyner are just lagging so far behind. It's not
Then you
worthwhile.
will. Going to be targeted here. There's that Aghanim Scepter. Ulti coming out. Masteros just blows up one. They're trying to go after the CK, but the stomp was amazing from their Elder Titan DJ. Now back onto Yopaj. DJ's falling low. The multi-shot out from Raven does take care of the Tiny. Now the swap in. Natsumi in a spot of danger. In fact, it was Skem that goes down on the Venge. Moon, meanwhile, getting very low, but Natsumi will lose the Tempest double. Still trying to go after the Leshrac. The stun in from Play Hard. They'll get the Aegis. Back to Raven, or maybe even Jabs, who's trying to go for a relocate, getting Moon out of there, and he does. The swap will not be good enough, and now Moon moving back in, going straight in there. But oh, Moon, he's just going to get blown up.
What?
A bit overly confident there, Moon, and now Play Hard, going to go for the double stun out, killing off Raven and killing off DJ.
What? I don't get it. Jab saves him, and a bit of a misplay, jumping too far forward. Lose 4 heroes for that still. That did force 2 buybacks out from Neon, so it's not a very smooth ride for them either. You still see a 2k lead up on Fnatic. They're feeling quite fine. Probably not the best way to lose the Aegis. They still somewhat find something, but Neon, do you sense an opportunity? Natsumi's starting to build up a bit more. He lived through all of that. His lead is still like a steady 1k over Raven, which is, again, not amazing, but it is something to work with. Gonna melt that tier 2 mid, and that's gonna be a nice objective to take as Fnatic can't defend.
No, they cannot. Here come those tier 3 items, John. Do we see a telescope out for Skem?
Oh, come on.
Not yet.
2 out of 4.
Spider Legs and Repair Kit is there. Give him the telescope. Let's see the brilliance of this hero that is Arc Warden.
Oh,
Mind you-
I've got to ping this tip. It's always evolving. New
Dota
features
2
are
is-
added. New heroes are introduced. Existing heroes and mechanics may see adjustments.
Keep up with the latest changes at Dota 2 blog. Now, you seem to be saying that very sarcastically, sir. Is there something you wanted to say?
No, I think it speaks for itself.
When was the last patch, by the way, for Dota 2?
I can't even remember. Was it July? Was it? No, maybe it's a bit sooner.
Well,
I guess you could say update patch. I'm not sure anymore. I forget.
You know what we can check, John? We can go to the Dota 2 blog, as the tip
That's
says,
true.
and we can see
That's
all
true.
the updates that have come out.
That is very true.
All jokes aside, though, the update is set to come out probably midway through this BTS Pro Series Season 4, so it's going to be rather interesting to see what happens when we're in the middle of the playoffs and there's a new patch that just drops. And it's like,
Yeah.
sorry, boys, you just got to deal with it. Too bad if you were coming first in the groups. We're in the playoffs now.
Oh.
Everything changes.
That's how it goes. That's how it always goes. We'll have to see what those changes are, and it's gonna be an exciting time when it does come out. Still, what's more exciting is that we have the go-ahead. The gap between Fnatic and Neon again dropping down to just 1k. Tier 2 mid being taken out does help even that out. They do jump down though.
Yeah, bot lane, they found Moon out on the Leshrac. And And that is going to be a nice big pick-off unless a relocate
Lead
comes in.
me.
And now Masteros coming in from the side. There goes my frames, but it won't matter. Play hard. Does go down. And Moon will survive. They find any more. Oh, a telescope found for the Drow.
Oh.
But did Skem
So
find one?
did they yet? I can quickly check. No, they haven't found their fourth drop yet. They
Uh-oh.
did get a craggy coat. Come on. Got a telescope as well. You need to. Balance it out.
Tower is under attack.
Both sides have repair kits, Mike. That's good news.
This game wasn't going to last long enough, John. Get the repair kits in there, make sure. Natsumi just doing Arc Warden things, pushing out that top lane.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, wait. Quickening Charm on Masero, so cooldown of 65.3 now in Phantasm. Isn't that nice? Every minute your PC crashes. It's amazing.
I like it. Why the hell not? Maybe when tier 4 items come, John, he'll get a spell prism. It's just kind of escalated a bit, you know?
I don't know if this is balanced for Natsumi, Mike, but they didn't get the telescope. They did get an Orb of Destruction.
Oh!
So I guess that's actually a little bit better for Natsumi. Not as dank, but it is better in terms of melting these objectives. So gonna be a good time for Arc Warden in terms of the split push. Still gonna have to wait for his Scotty to fly in. I believe it's just done. There it is. So Scotty up and Natsumi can start to melt heroes, widening the gap between him and Raven to 2k, but Raven also gets the same timing on his Scotty, so not too bad here for Fnatic.
Oh, nice and even. Top lane does eventually go down. Natsumi just going to keep the pushing up. Oh, there goes that ulti again from Masteros. But play hard. you just saw two of the wrongest things in this game. Like, play hard can just have like 600 movement speed on the river, and meanwhile the other guy can just spawn illusions everywhere, globally, just because.
Perfectly balanced. Good thing for Masaros, he does have that quickening charm, so Phantasm's gonna be up in 40. It doesn't matter if he doesn't
good.
find anything as well. Yeah, just gonna not gonna lose too much. They are starting to focus around that jungle. Not too much pressure. It's back to that stalemate of farming. Although there is a smoke here from Neon.
Here we go.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
I guess with the Phantasm illusions down for another 15 seconds, they feel like they've got an opening, but it really is only like 15 seconds. Make it 10 now. And they're not going to find the opportunity they were looking for. It is still just a 2k net worth lead between net worth difference between these two, so still a very close game. Smoke up. Masteros just gonna jump straight in onto Januel, and he's gone. See you later. Yopaj getting caught out by Moon with the Yule Scepter, has been stunned up, and stuns fly out from Masteros. It's like a Phantom Lancer, John. Masteros just cosplaying right now.
Yeah, it's true. Got a bigger army that hits a bit harder as well. So Master's just doing perfectly fine. 2 years deleted. Can we talk about the uptime on these Phantasm illusions? So 30-second duration, 65.3 cooldown with the quickening charm. That's like 50% uptime or downtime. 50% downtime. That's insane. It's
Seems
just
very
half the
balanced.
time it's up.
Seems very balanced, John. I don't see the problem here. Why is it
great.
100% uptime?
And that's true. Just always have it. Just crash the PC, spam press R like you've got sheets on.
With that,
You got AC up as well.
yeah,
So you're just gonna melt them.
Illusions attack faster now. Very nice. Thing seems good here. Into the Roshan. Look at this. I mean, look at this. This is meant to be like a very scary kind of beast in the Dota world, right? They literally have an event called Dietide about Roshan right now, and he just gets deleted like that. Neon?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to fight into them right now. They will get the swap off. It looks like they have found the IO. Jab's in trouble, but Moon coming in, killing off Playhard, and now Masaros onto Skem. They've also got Yopaj there. Skem's gone. Yopaj will be next. He does also die. They get the Temper Stubble, and they get Januel. And there is only really Natsumi left, along with Playhard, who just bought back. Off to the Tier 2 top tower they go.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard defense for Neon. Now, they can play with Natsumi. Of course, it's an Arc Warden. Can shove out waves really well. Issue is, he's, again, doesn't have a significant lead over the Drow. 3K is a bit better, but 3K at 33 minutes in isn't as massive as you'd want it to be. Natsumi's doing a decent job, though. Holding off the top push at the least, but there's only so much you can do here.
Here we go again.
Phantasm's back up.
Moon just jumps in. Oh, he gets done up though. Play hard. They might be able to turn this one around with Natsumi, but the multi-shot is going to be there from Raven, and that will zone them out. And in we go. Tier 3 tower gone. They do have the bubble, however, and a repair kit, so they defend. In fact, they'll go back in, but Yopaj is unable to get the toss back. Masaros going to jump in onto the Temper Stubble of the Arc Warden, and eventually they will get through it. But they have successfully defended this this top lane of barracks.
Yep, they hold on. The deficit grows wider though, Mike. It's 14k up now for Fnatic, 20 to 25. Now it really becomes the Arc Warden game. Natsumi has to do so much for his team here. You look how far behind Yopaj and Skem are. They're at 10 and 11k each. Masaros is at 15, for example. So they're already really far behind in these other cores. It's all down to our Arc Warden to find that space out. But Fnatic are not resting. They smoke up. They've got Phantasm ready to go again.
Oh, Moon might be in danger. Do they have enough? Moon gonna pop the BKB. He's gonna try and chase down somebody. Play hard. Also there, gonna blink away. Masaros and Moon having a look around. The Split Earth is actually going to land and cancel the TP off, but Yopaj jumps back in after the Leshrac, and they will get the Aegis. Jabs now spotting them out, so Masaros can go for the rift back onto Playhard. And Playhard will die. Into Yopaj, who is still around the area, but a relocate back up towards the top lane where they are going to find Skem. Skem is going to try and fight this out, but there is no chance. Absolutely zero chance to fight into that.
No, you can't. Not when that PC buster is popped. Neon lose 2 heroes. Not going to help their cause in the defense. Now, they do have a good shove down mid. There is a creep wave with 2 siege creeps hitting the tier 3, so they are getting a little bit of that split pushing effect, but it's just not going to be enough to hold off for too long here.
Natsumi will lose a Temper Stubble again, it looks like. Raven will take that one for himself, and back to that tier 3 tower they go. So eventually get down. They go into the barracks now. The repair kit is going to be there. Masaros, rift up, just on the Temper Stubble. The Rack's gone down to that bot lane, but Yopaj trying to go back in, so instead they'll go back around onto him, and they do get the kill on the Tiny. Now, have they found another? Not quite. But they do go into the mid lane. This tier 3 just gets destroyed, and no repair kit or no repair kit, it doesn't matter. There's too much damage. They get rid of the racks now. Yopaj, he's brought back along with Januel, but isn't going to matter at all. Skem is going to get taken down. Jabs with a great relocate out onto Masaros. They do get the mid-melee barracks as well, but Playhard does jump in for a double stun, and Yopaj gets a toss back onto Raven. Where's the follow-up damage though? Jabs keeping him alive. Magnetic field drop, but it's not going to matter as Masaros now turning back around. Playhard and Skem both going to go down. Those were some diebacks coming out. Januel trying to run away. He will be able to, but his buildings cannot do the same. Although Yopaj, again, another toss back onto Raven. They're trying to get this drown down, but Jabs just keeps him alive the whole time. They can't get through him, and now Masaros back onto Yopaj. It looks like this Tiny is probably just going to die here as the Phantasm comes down. Januel trying to run, everything just flying at him, and they will call the GG.
Ooh.
Disgusting stuff.
Yeah, that's hey, come on. At the least, Arc Warden did lose, and I
True.
think you would favor that. Still, Fnatic managing to ride through. It looked a bit rough earlier on. They were trading blows a bit. There were some good moments coming out here for Neon. In the end, they placed all their eggs in one basket. Natsumi could not lift that burden by himself. You saw Scam and Yopaj really fall behind, but they did have some shining moments. Yopaj, especially early on, was making a lot of plays in the Tiny. They just lose out in the mid game. Masaros was just allowed to really farm up too fast, and that's something they have to keep an eye out on. You know, we were talking about this when Masaros was on MG Trust as well. He is a big part of how MG Trust then and Fnatic now managed to get that space out. And if you don't respect that offlane coming out from Fnatic, it will come and haunt you at the end of the game.
Well, with that, John, that was game number 1, and it was a relatively close game until that CK Ags came around. So let's see how game number 2 goes between Neon Esports and Fnatic. It is, of course, MLP and johnxfire, and we'll see you back again in about 10 minutes for our second game. We'll see you soon.